UFC Vegas 118. Bonfim, Belal Muhammad just wrapped up. Man, Belal. It's sad, guys. It's actually sad seeing this from Belal Muhammad. I hate to say, but like it's one of those things where it's like it's kind of the end of an era. It's the end of an era. Listen, guys, honestly, people are saying it's Belal washed. I honestly think Belal has been fighting the same like the last 3-4 fights. It's kind of turning into the situation where like if Belal can't take somebody down and he's forced to strike, his boxing's objectively not that bad. I actually thought he started off the first round really good. I remember like live, I actually thought the first round could be won by Belal. I kept saying it was a 50-50 round. Belal, like at the start of the round, he couldn't miss with his 1-2. It was like he was a 1-2ing Bonfim and Bonfim couldn't get out the way. And in the later half of that round, Bonfim started just spamming low kicks, and it was kind of like anyone's round. Round 2 starts, it's kind of Bonfim taking control of the tide, kind of landing the bigger shots. Round 3 starts, more of the same. Bonfim kind of growing. Round 4 happens, Belal wins that. That was probably his clearest round, even though the judges were unanimously 50-45. I thought Belal kind of clearly won the round 4. I just realized saying live now. That's how up to date I'm doing recording this video. And then round 5 comes, and then it's like Bonfim just does what he does. It just updated right now. Bonfim does what he does and he wins. I don't think it's like, bro, I hope no one in the world's talking about robbery this, robbery that. And it's Belal wash. It just depends what you mean by wash. I just feel like Belal in his last couple fights, he just has a habit of like he's striking with guys who are better strikers because his wrestling's not going well. People keep saying, why wasn't he wrestling? He did try to wrestle a bit late. And he just got stuffed and kind of strength mocked. I will say this about Belal. I don't really understand the game plan. It's a bit weird when we know Bonfim is his only big weakness that we've seen from the Dobby fight is that when you put pressure on him, he breaks. Even in the promo, you can hear Belal's like, if I put pressure on him, he breaks. He sucks. Usman, I smacked him in the podcast. Yeah. Man, Belal loves talking about Usman the whole fight week, eh? Like, that's what he's been saying this whole... He should have been locked in a bit more, man. Nah, I love Belal. You guys know this, guys. It's a bit sad to see. But, like, Belal kept saying things like he's going to break him. He's going to bring the pressure and the pace. And, like, I guess a part of me believed that because I knew that's the path to victory for Belal. I was like, okay, I believe he's going to bring the pressure. He's going to bring the pace. The fight starts, and he's kind of just backing up. And I'm like, maybe he's just doing this... It reminded me of the JDM fight, I can't lie, but I was like, maybe he's just doing this because why not? Like, I don't know, he's scared or something. I don't know. Belal knew what game plan he had to execute because what he was saying prior to the fight, but I just feel like maybe the power of Bonfim was a little bit intimidating. It scared him. He just didn't want to bring pressure because he immediately gave up the back foot. Like, the fight starts, they say, all right, fight. He just starts backing up and circling. It's tough to see when fighters do that because 90% of fighters who fight like that, their game plan is to go in there and actually fight, and they're just doing it because they fear something. And I understand it's normal to be fearful in a fight. The one time we've seen Belal not fearful at all, I guess it was against Leon Edwards. He just ran to get him and just kind of put him. I guess with Belal, what I've noticed from Belal in fights specifically, if the guy's standing in front of Belal doesn't see them as having a power threat, Belal doesn't respect them. I seen it with Sean Brady even. He didn't respect Sean Brady's power in his hands, so he just walked forward and put it on him, a crazy pace. Leon Edwards, he didn't respect the power in his hands, so he kind of walked into him and just shot takedowns. JDM, he respected the power, so he immediately went on the back foot in the front round 1. Ian Gary respected the power, so he was going on the back foot. Bonfim, he respected the power, rightfully so. And we could talk about Bonfim now, who honestly, I knew on paper, I kept saying Bonfim is better than him, but I think Belal could break him, relying on Belal to come forward, which is just tough to do. Power threat's a real thing. It's not easier said than done. The more I've been training, the more I realize this, guys. When someone's in front of you with a power threat, it's not easy just to throw shots because you're scared of what's coming back. It is a thing. So I respect Belal, and I'm not gonna go too hard on him, because while I was watching the fight, I kind of came to the realization his style is just not gonna work. When Belal was trying to come forward, the speed of Bonfim was significant. The power, the shot difference. Belal lands some good 1-2s, guys, but their opponents always eat it. Ian Gary was getting outboxed. If you look at the stats, Ian Gary got outstruck from head strikes against Belal. Outboxed. Yes, Ian Gary outstruck him total strikes from the leg stomps and stuff, but Belal does land a lot of shots to people's head, but they just eat the shot and to keep it pushing. He doesn't really have power threat. And Bonfim, once he saw there was no power threat, just seemed really comfortable. Bonfim was smiling the whole time. That kind of pissed me off. Just cheesing the whole time, man. Beating up my goat, man. I wasn't fond of that, I didn't like that. But yeah, it was one of those things. It's a hard pill to swallow. This has been a tough one for my favorite fighters, guys, this year. You know, Izzy, Hamza, Belal. You know, all my favorites seem to be coming up short in fights like this, guys. Bonfim just seems superior to Belal here. And how good is Bonfim? Like, he loses to, like, probably JDM and, like, other people who could actually strike. But yeah, he did well against Belal. He showed that he could get rid of a veteran who's been there before, you know, who has a championship experience. Where does Belal go from here? Maybe retirement. He keeps chasing the Usman fight. Usman might be getting booked against DDP. That's a crazy fight, you know. And that's not even the same weight class. So at welterweight, it's just a tough division, man. You got Ian Gary, you got Prates, you got Bonfim now, you just got a lot of killers. Sean Brady. It's just like, I don't even think Belal beats Sean Brady in a rematch, because Belal, like, Sean Brady with the right mindset beats a lot of people. And then, guys, I'm not going to lie, I've noticed this as well watching this fight. Belal's offensive wrestling is a bit overrated. The one time we've seen him have crazy offensive wrestling was against Leon, but since then, it's kind of been nilch. JDM, he couldn't score. Ian Gary, you couldn't score. Bonfim, you couldn't score. These are all, like, defensive people who are decent at defensive wrestling, you know. But it's just something I've noticed. His entries itself, they're not, like, crazy convincing, you know, even if he gets to a hip. So once that left his window and, like, Belal's best weapon is no longer his wrestling, his best weapon's a 1-2 with no power behind it, that's when you start to realize he's probably not going to be any of these young up-and-comers. So I do think he should consider retirement or start taking fights that stylistically just favor him and still getting paid. You know, retirement is not something easy you could just do. You know, so I just think Belal needs something new, man. Like, the fight style, it's caught up to him. It's not elite anymore, and he just can't beat these young up-and-comers, man. Like, how good is fucking Nikolai Dalby, man? Yeah, baby, how good is Dalby, baby? Oh, Chincha. Shout out Bonfim, though. I don't know what's next for him. Maybe give him JDM. I think JDM could get a win off Bonfim and can make him look better. But to be fair, Bonfim's the only one to 50-45 him. Like, he beat Belal more convincingly than JDM did, which is impressive. Like, he 50-45 Belal on the scorecards. I thought it was 49-46, but either way, JDM and Belal, there was, like, some controversy at the end of it. Bonfim schooled him kind of cleanly, you know. Bonfim might be better than I think, but I still think it's a good bounce-back fight, so I think him and JDM will make a lot of sense. But, man, shout out Bonfim, man. Shout him out. You know, he gets it done against a veteran in Belal, so I have nothing but respect. Moving on to the co-main events. Brendan Allen, Edmund Shahbazyan. I did call Brendan Allen to win this fight, and that's kind of what happened. I knew Brendan Allen had more dog in him. I did say before the fight it's going to be a lot more competitive than people think. I think it did live up to it. Allen was a pretty decent favorite. It was a good first round. Like, I think it could have been a gentleman's 30-27. I kind of also think Edmund Shahbazyan won the first round off the jab alone. But as the fight got ugly, you could tell Brendan Allen wanted it more. His presence in there was overwhelming. They had Strickland in the corner. You know, Strickland hates Allen. They have their own beef situation. That couldn't help Edmund in that one. But Allen's a dog. Allen's actually pretty damn good, guys. He has good grappling. In his striking stone, he's a dog. He said he looking for the winner of DDP Usman. I doubt any of them are going to want to fight him, though. He said he wants a rematch for Mavov. It's probably not going to happen either. He wants to fight Strickland, sure. He's going to have to fight someone. I don't know. I really don't know. But he took a fight against someone who's, like, not really going to... He didn't need to take this fight. But to be fair, it was a good fight, and it showed that Edmund's still game. But he took a fight that didn't really help his ranking position, but he did it to stay active. It kind of shows his character and who he is. I really do respect Brendan Allen. He actually is getting better, guys. He schooled Marvin Vettori, who's Paulo Costa's father. You know, he beat RDR, and now he beat Edmund. Like, what's next for him? I don't know, but all I know is whatever you're going to put next for him, make it count, man. Kid's not bad. Kid's legit. So shout out Brendan Allen, great win. Edmund's still a dog too, and keep your eye on Edmund Shahbazyan because he could win some ranked fights. This was just a tough ask for him. Maybe Brendan Allen versus Izzy, man. And honestly, think I'd put my money on Allen. I can't lie, but I think that's a good fight for Allen. Him versus Izzy makes the most sense to me. Anyways, moving on from that. Fear Ziam versus Tom Nolan. I told you guys in the prediction video it was going to be a lot closer than people think, but I still thought Fear Ziam was going to win. I scored it 2-1 for Tom Nolan. Rounds 1 and 2. It's a tough one though, because like it was competitive. Round 2, Ziam did look better than Tom Nolan. He made a bad mistake where he threw a spinning elbow off an exit and fell over himself in round 2. Then Tom Nolan got on top and kind of controlled him from there and stole that round. Before that, he had some good combos at the start of the round. It did seem like the better fighter didn't win. I do think Fear Ziam is one of the best, but I did know Tom Nolan was going to be a tough ass. Tom Nolan even surprised me in the grappling. Like, I knew his grappling was all right, but I didn't know he was going to have more control time and take advantage of some advantageous positions when he had Ziam on the ground. You know, Fears is good, man. He looked a little bit, he didn't look bad. He didn't look bad. He just looked a little bit all over himself, like tripping over himself. You know, like he was losing positions of the back, sometimes slipping off. He didn't seem fully there mentally or something, but he didn't look bad. He still looks good. I still think Fierce is a crazy prospect. It just shows that like when two people are very skilled guys, little mistakes happen. Like a little mistakes happen, and those mistakes, when they capitalize on it, they're round deciding. You know, that spinning elbow is what lost Ziam the fight in the second round, when he did a spinning elbow, tripped over nothing, ended up on his back, and then Tom Nolan took advantage of it. And shout out Tom Nolan. That won him the round because he was losing that round prior. You know, and Tom Nolan was active, man. He was trying to, like, you know, Tom Nolan's good. Both of these guys are good. I'm not going to turn my back on Fierce. I still think Fierce is one of the better prospects at lightweight. I think he probably wins his next one. I think Nolan's as good as I said he was. I told you guys you're underrating him. He's 6'3" at lightweight. That's never an easy task, and his grappling's not too shabby. You know, it did seem like Fierce had the advantage in the boxing. He was landing good 1-2-1s and good combos up top. But it seemed like Tom Nolan was a little bit too much and took advantage of very advantageous positions. So shout out Tom Nolan. Great fighter, and shout out Fierce. Great fighter. Great fight from both guys, but you know, Tom Nolan ends up getting it done. Bryce Mitchell versus Santiago Luna. I thought Luna was going to get it done. Bryce Mitchell, man, holding on for dear life. Yeah. Hey, if Bryce does it, we're not going to call him inbred, Dagestani, nut hugger, you know. Bryce Mitchell fought smart, man. Like, he took him down the first round. Well, he didn't take him down the first round. Let me say that correctly. Fucking Luna, who should have just kept it on the feet, decided to try to take down Bryce Mitchell and just ended up getting reversed. Bryce Mitchell was actually very like chill on the post-fight interview. Bryce Mitchell's actually oddly very likable, especially after he wins fights. It's crazy to me. Yeah, like he goes for a takedown, gets put on his back because Bryce Mitchell just reversed him, which wasn't hard to reverse. Then he gets controlled. Bryce Mitchell wasn't trying to land shots. Like I said, it's a boring fight style, but I know people are gonna cheer for it because it's Bryce Mitchell. Either way, though, Mitchell did the right thing. He's going against a 21-year-old kid. The kid's wicked young. So, like, Mitchell just holding on to him and doing nothing the first round with his heavy southern strength. You know, definitely weighed on Luna, and it kind of fatigued Luna's gas tank. Round 2 starts, a little bit more competitive, but it just seemed like in this fight when Mitchell got him down, it was a problem. It was 1-1 going to the third round. It was anyone's fight, in my opinion, but you know, Mitchell was smart in the way he was able to just take him down and hold him and not do much with it. He ends up getting the not the rear naked choke, the arm triangle in the third round off of like a scramble or something. And he gets Luna down and like scores off a scramble, then is able to control him, finds the arm triangle. Great performance by Mitchell. Mitchell's grappling is actually pretty good. He had some nasty, gnarly back takes, man. He's kind of badass, you know. Mitchell's not bad. Like I do feel like this was Luna's fight to win, but I think experience mattered here. You know, the 21-year-old goes against a very experienced guy who took, you know, he took it on short notice against Bryce Mitchell, heavy grappler. Luna has great defensive wrestling, but I've always wondered how he was going to be on his back, and it seemed like he wasn't. I don't even want to say he was horrible on his back. I also think Bryce Mitchell was just heavy when he takes someone down, which points to the fact that when I bring up Bryce Mitchell taking down Ilya and controlling him, it's not a bad take. It wasn't lucky. Bryce Mitchell can actually grapple pretty damn well. So, yeah, shout out Mitchell for his boring performance, but yeah, at least he gets a finish, so it makes it worthwhile somewhat. But yeah, Mitchell's not bad. He's a pretty badass bantamweight. He hasn't lost in bantamweight yet, so this might have been the move for him. He looks like he's nearly gonna die every time he weighs in, though. All right, Iwu versus Junior Tafa. I kind of expected this to end in the first round. It did. This was weird. Like throw a low kick at Junior, and Junior was like, "Fuck that." Tafa brothers are really good at just being shit. Like, I got to give them credit. They're really good at that. I wasn't really that surprised that Iwu gets a first round finish. A little bit more surprised how the finish looked. I kind of expected the finish to be like a knockout, but yeah, screw it, dude. Chinny legs. Nigga, chinny legs in 2026, you know. Brother, I ain't gonna lie. You got to mature a little. Like, as a grown man with chinny legs, bro, like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You can't be walking around with your legs on a platter. Your leg chin on a platter in 2026, brother, mature a bit. It was like one leg kick and his leg was like, fuck that out. That just hurt. And it's weird because, like, not like a joint exploded or ACL rupture. He just got kicked in the leg. It was like, yo, that hurts, bro. My shit's chinny. Chill, bro. And he just falls down. That was kind of funny, though. All right, I with the leg kick. Oh, my leg hurt a little bit. Nigga, come on, dog. Yeah, shout out Iwu for getting rid of Tafa. Nothing surprising there. Didn't watch any of the prelims, but I got like all of them right. Costa, I did see the short knockout he had on Mitchell. I did not watch the McGee fight. Heard it went the distance. Heard Edgar Chavez just came out guns blazing, got a submission. Women's fight, who cares? I saw Brito's finish on him. Finished Jordan Levitt pretty easy. Levitt looked like he was in there to twerk. And the women's fights, we're not going to cover that because who really cares, guys? UFC Freedom 250 coming up. That's where mine's going to be. We're going to have stylistic breakdowns on that. It's going to be a fun week, guys. Let's get into it. This fight night was a little bit disappointing from Belal. But it's okay, brother. You win some, you lose some, but you live to see another day. We move on. Have a good one, guys. God bless. 2, 3, Vote.